Welcome. This is Recidiva. I'm sharing a recording of a casual Skyrim playthrough using a mod list I built. My profound thanks to all the mod creators who have made this game a crowdsourced treasure. I hope you enjoy. Not seeing a quest marker. Oh, there it is. Okay. I can't see. I'm making butter masala sauce because I have discovered. Oh, is this Mike the Liar? Hey, Mike.
Mike wishes you well.
Uh-oh. He's wearing the, apparently there isn't usually a tree here.
Some say Alduin is Akatosh. Some say Mike is a liar. Don't you believe either of those things?
So Mike the Liar has been in every game. I think it's just people who don't
Nord's armor has
like
lots
someone
of
named
fur.
Mike.
This sometimes makes Mike nervous.
Find the Khajiit's caravan and then fish up. Wow, look at the beauty of this water. Wow, this is a gorgeous spot to fish. Ha! The Alakir fishing pole. Is that misaligned at the tip? I don't know. I have a fishing pole mod here. It's a little weird. It's beautiful here, though. You can write Sky Temple ruins. Incredibly beautiful water flowing by. So we have discovered we adore paneer sandwiches. So although paneer is kind of chunky, Indian cheese, it just works out amazingly. So you just sourdough bread with green chutney, which is spicy. So that's jalapenos, mint, cilantro. Small cubes of paneer, and I make my I do have a chutney recipe, but sometimes it's just easier to buy it than it is to get. But the masala sauce, we haven't found one that we like as much as the one that we make. So I've got a ton of onions and tomatoes and spices cooking up, and we are going to make our own paneer sandwiches. They're amazing. So it's sourdough bread, green chutney, butter masala sauce, and paneer chunks. So it's Indian grilled cheese. And we are learning the art of making it. It's so good. Okay, so should be no. Let's see where Rasad is on the map right now. I don't know if they're going east or west. We'll find out. What enemies are nearby? Will you stop? Oh, okay. I'm just gonna ride down the road to meet them. It'll take a little while, but it's less frustrating than trying to find the one mud crab in the square mile that's trying to kill me. Hey, Mike. So I assume there's a Mike somewhere in the world that inspired Mike the Liar. Okay, let's see if I can travel yet. Yay! I don't know the lore though, but that's my headcanon. Some developer somewhere was irritated by someone whose name was Mike, and they just put him in the game that day. Closer or further away? Oh, they're so much further away. I could have just stayed where I was. Ugh. Deep water. Come on, Ambar. We can do it. I couldn't do this without you, Ambar. Sometimes I can't do it with you.
I have traveled far across Tamriel to serve you.
There's all the bottles of aged flame you lost in the river.
Excellent. And now, please, accept this token of appreciation.
Yes,
For
long
choose my
roads travel the roads of Skyrim. The more empty this land seems.
Okay.
The ancient time you are Dragonborn.
Thank you, random soldier.
Good to see
Forgotten.
you.
I do
Finally,
not
someone useful is around. Come see me in the market if you're looking for the finest custom jewelry in all.
I really like the eating animations in my new game, so I don't really have I don't have lots of stuff that I eat manually, but I crunch on apples and carrots and drink stuff.
Yes.
It's awesome. I love it.
Need something?
Know of anyone in need of fishing work around Skyrim?
You're headed to the capital. It's all in this note. Mm-hmm.
Wanted seafood feast. Wanted. Oh, no, that's fishing tutor. A seafood feast. Okay. Wanted a seafood feast. Our tenants have all paid their rent on time for once, so I find myself suddenly flush with coin. I've decided to celebrate with a feast. Of course, the innkeeper at the Winking Skeever possesses neither the ingredients nor the skill to prepare what I desire. I seek a cooked Arctic char, steamed crab legs, and a helping of crab stew for good measure. Please set a table on the second floor in the inn that I might avoid being disturbed. I will leave behind generous repayment once my dining is concluded, but only if the meal meets my expectations. Unfortunately for me, few things do. Gizly. What is this here? What is happening here? Is that ice? Okay, I should be able to cook this up. Okay, so I need Arctic char. I wonder if there's an oven around here.
Oh, it's you. Come to extort more from me?
I thought we were buddies, Helga. Okay, I'm gonna find a place with an oven. Okay, seafood feast. Let me look up the... Okay, I need steamed mud crab legs. I know I can do that. Let me, I'm gonna go to the tent. Marines shelter. I should be able to use the cook fire from here. Raw food storage. I don't see a char. Do have mud crab legs. Oop. Yeah, it's a shame. This place makes me crash. That's a bummer. Not blaming them, blaming my inventory fetish. Okay, try to re-cook these. I'm gonna see if I can see the recipes. I don't know if it's on an oven, but there should be both here. So I can do mud crab legs. Okay. Have steamed mud crab legs. See, I don't even see a recipe for Arctic char or crab stew. Let's see if it's at the oven. I'm kind of out of luck, I think, because I have gourmet. I'm gonna look to see if there are gourmet recipes for this, but the recipes are not even gonna show unless I have the recipe. Okay, yeah, I would need to buy the recipes. I'm going to cheat here and just load them. With gourmet, it's going to make it difficult to get the items to match. Okay, yeah, I'm cheating there. I'm not as you know, I'm not really into it. So, and I don't want to mess with it for too long. Happy to go fishing, but if I haven't gotten one so far, and if I have to cook them, it's a good bet that the gourmet item is not going to be what the fishing quest requires. So I could be wrong, but we're kind of moving through buggy stuff here, so I am getting somewhat impatient, I would say. Forgive me if I don't want to chase all over Skyrim for an Arctic char, or chase all over a merchant for a crab stew recipe. Next time, I'll remember to get it when I'm at the vendors forever, looking up the other recipes. I really do like gourmet for the buffs, but it's like weird stuff like this that I haven't encountered for a while. It used to have the same issue. I used Keiko,
Welcome.
the
Let me know if
complete
you want
alchemy
anything.
overhaul,
I think I got a clean mug around here
and
somewhere.
it altered recipes so much. Yeah, I don't need you. You don't need to be in a museum. Yeah, it altered recipes so much that things like dog meat was changed to canine meat. It was very difficult to figure out, and I just had to load stuff. So place Gisley's feast. There's her fish, and her stew, and her crab legs. Wait for Gisley to take her seat. I'm going to be respectful and not even steal anything while we're here. Wait an hour for her to finish dining. I don't think I've done this. I get coin purse and Gisley's note. Saleya, praise is something I seldom offer, but I found my meal to be a fine display of culinary skill and service, quite delectable. I shall have to tell Viarma all about this delightful meal and the accomplished fisherman who prepared it. Perhaps he'll write a song in your honor. Please accept this coin along with my thanks. I think it's kind of cool that you actually make Gisley happy for one shining moment, one shining hour of her life. Okay.
Hello, I'm Gisley, but you can just call
I
me
know, I
Sister.
just made you dinner. Oh my god. We had a moment, and then no moment. Ugh. You can see, it might be best to save your fishing quests, do them one at a time, not one after the other, because they do send you to Hell and Gone. So you might just try to remember, okay, I'm in Dawnstar, let me do this section, okay, I'm headed to Markarth, and not that everybody's memory is that good, but... Do burn up the daylight. Starting to get snow.
Out with it.
Know of anyone in need of fishing work around Skyrim?
Of course. It's all in this note. All right
Bounty
then.
Dwarven investigation. Fishermen have rumored that at the mouth of the Bronzewater Cave lies a strange mechanism, undoubtedly of dwarven make, whose purpose is yet unknown. As my research leaves me too preoccupied, I seek a reliable surrogate to investigate the mechanism. Any novel dwarven objects, schematics, and the like are of great interest. Any discovery should be reported to me at once. Disturb me only when you have results, not before. Someone. Okay. Swim on the way home. Yeah, the lilies shouldn't really be out this time of year. Look at this. Ah! The trees losing all their leaves. So cool. Okay. Cape is so dramatic. Code of Malakath by Amanda Alea, mercenary. No one bests an orc. I don't need you to guess how many times I've heard that boast in some dingy tavern or screamed at the top of the lungs by some fellow sellsword with too much fire in him. But I'd be lying if I said the orc strongholds didn't take those words as law. There are few places where Miss Elia would tell you that tradition and the old ways makes for a better fighter. But with orcs, it seems like staying true to your ancestors is the path to victory. Let me start a few steps back. The orc strongholds have existed as long as the orc race has, according to them. They're armored camps in the least, and fortresses at the most. Every man, woman, and child inside the walls is trained from birth to defend it. All the weapons and armor is smithed right there in the stronghold. All the food is hunted down by orc warriors and brought back to be eaten by everyone who lives there. They follow no laws, save their own, an unwritten set of rules called the Code of Malakath, named after one of their gods, who is sometimes called Moloch. Most of it's pretty simple. Don't steal, don't kill, don't attack people for no reason, although there seems to be a big list of exceptions. But orcs in the stronghold don't have jails for their criminals. They have blood price. You either pay enough in goods for your crimes, you bleed enough that your victim is satisfied. And orcs, I don't need to tell you, have a lot of blood. The code also sets up who runs the stronghold. The toughest male is usually the chief, who makes decisions and decides when the Code of Malakath has been satisfied. All the women are either the chief's wives or his daughters, with the exception of the wise woman, who handles all the spiritual matters and healing needs. Matters of grave dispute are handled with short but violent fights. Those who don't get along with the chief are usually forced out of the stronghold to live among the rest of us. An orc grows up being told to fight for everything, that if something is not worth fighting for, it's beneath the code. Orc strongholds don't like strangers, used to living on their own like they do. Ms. Aaliyah knows what she does because so many orcs leave the stronghold to become sellswords or soldiers, and a few pints of mead gets them talking about home. I hear that sometimes an orc will make a non-orc a blood kin, and that person is then allowed to live in the stronghold as one of the clan, but I've never heard of that actually happening. For all their strange rules and traditions, the Code of Malakath does breed a culture of determined warriors. They're focused in ways that the average sellsword isn't. They don't hesitate to draw weapons and settle matters openly, and I think that's the real difference between the stronghold orcs and the city orcs. Imperial law allows you to settle fights through the Emperor's men. The Code of Malakath demands you settle your problems yourself. A fine way of thinking it if you're leading a mercenary's life. The Lusty Argonian Maid, Volume 2. Oh boy. Acrosis Curio. Act 7, Scene 2, continued. Lifts her tail. My goodness, that's quite a loaf. But how shall I ever fit it in my oven? Grantius Colto. This loaf isn't ready for baking, my sweet. It has yet to rise. Lifts her tail. If only we could hurry that along, but how would I accomplish such a task? Grantius Colto. Oh, my foolish little Argonian maid. You must use your hands. Lifts her tail. You wish me to knead the loaf? Here. Grantius Colto. Of course. Lifts her tail. But what if the mistress catches me? Your loaf was meant to satisfy her appetite. Grantius Colto. Don't fret, my delicate flower. I'll satisfy the mistress's cravings later. Lifts her tail. Very well, but I'm afraid my oven isn't hot enough. It could take hours. Grantius Colto. Plenty of time, my sweet. Plenty of time. The monomyth. In Mundus, conflict and disparity are what brings change, and change is the most sacred of the 11 forces. Change is the force without focus or origin. Organthir, Talare, Order of PSJJ. Simply put, the schism in the human Aldmeri worldview is the mortal's relationship to the divine. Humans take the humble path that they were created by the immortal forces, while the Aldmer claim descent from them. It doesn't seem like much, but it is a distinction that colors the rest of their diverging mythologies. All Tamrielic religions begin the same. Man or Mer, things begin with the dualism of Anu and his other. These twin forces go by many names. Anu Parame, Anuliel, Sithis, Ak-El, Satak Ak-El, is not. Anuiel is the everlasting, ineffable light. Sithis is the corrupting, inexpressible action. In the middle is the gray, maybe Nern, in the Alinofex. In most cultures, Anuiel is honored for his part in the interplay that creates the world, but Sithis is held in highest esteem because he's the one that causes the reaction. Sithis is thus the original creator, an entity who intrinsically causes change without design. Even the Hist acknowledges this being. Anuiel is also perceived of as order, opposed to the Sithis chaos. Perhaps it is easier for mortals to envision change than perfect stasis, for often Anuiel is relegated to the mythic background of Sithis' fancies. In Yokudan folktales, which are among the most vivid in the world, Satak is only referred to a handful of times as the Hum. He is a force so prevalent as to not really be there at all. In any case, from these two beings spring the Et Ada, or original spirits. To humans, these Et Ada are the gods and demons. To the Altmer, the Aedra Daedra, or the ancestors. All of the Tamrielic pantheons fill their rosters from these Et Ada, though divine membership often differs from culture to culture. Like Anu and Parame, though, every one of these pantheons contains the archetypes of the dragon god and the missing god. Dragon god and the missing god. Dragon god is always related to time, and is universally referred to as the first god. He is often called Akatosh, whose perch from eternity allowed the day. He is the central god of the Cyrodiilic Empire. The missing god is always related to the mortal plane and is a key figure in the human Aldmeri schism. The missing refers to either his palpable absence from the pantheon, another mental distress that is interpreted a variety of ways, or the removal of his divine spark by the other immortals. He is often called Lorcan, and his epitaphs are many, equally damning and devout. Note that Tamriel and the mortal plane do not exist yet. Grey, maybe, is still the playground of the original spirits. Some are more bound to Anu's light, others to the unknowable void. Their constant flux and interplay increase their numbers, and their personalities take long to congeal. When Akatosh forms, time begins, and it becomes easier for some spirits to realize themselves as beings with a past and a future. The strongest of the recognizable spirits crystallize: Mafala, Arche, Ifre, Magnus, Ruptka, etc., etc. Others remain as concepts, ideas, or emotions. One of the strongest of these, a barely formed urge that the others called Lorcan, details a plan to create Mundus, the mortal plane. Humans, with the exception of the Red Guard, see this act as a divine mercy, an enlightenment whereby lesser creatures can reach immortality. Aldmer, with the exception of the Dark Elves, see this as a cruel deception, a trick that sundered their connection to the spirit plane. The Myth of Orbis. Subtitled The Sigic Compensation, Mythic Orbis was an attempt by Archaean mythologists to explain the basics of Aldmeri religion to Uriel V in the early glorious part of his reign. He quietly avoided any blame or bias against the Lorcan concept, which was still held in esteem by the Cyrodiils as Shazar, the missing sibling of the divines. Despite this, the Sigichi. Okay. Let's just call them Sijics, shall we? We have to call them Sijichi? Still give a nice summary of the Elder View, and it will serve our purposes here. This version comes from the archives of the Imperial Seminary from the handwritten notes of an unknown scribe. Mythic Orbis exists, and has existed from time without measure, as a fanciful, unnatural realm. Orbis is used to connote the imperceptible penumbra, the grey center between the is not of Anu and Parame. It contains the multitude realms of Aetherius and Oblivion, as well as other lesser structured forms. The magical beings of mythic Orbis live for a long time and have complex narrative lives, creating the patterns of myth. These are spirits made from bits of the immortal polarity. The first of these was Akatosh the Time Dragon, whose formation made it easier for other spirits to structure themselves. Gods and demons form and reform and procreate. Finally, the magical beings of mythic Orbis told the ultimate story, that of their own death. For some, this was an artistic transfiguration of the concrete, non-magical substance of the world. For others, this was a war in which all were slain, their bodies becoming the substance of the world. For yet others, this was a romantic marriage and parenthood, with the parents' spirits naturally having to die and give way to the succeeding mortal races. The agent of this communal decision was Lorcan, whom most early myths vilify as a trickster or deceiver. More sympathetic versions of this story point out Lorcan as being the reason the mortal plane exists at all. The magical beings created the races of the mortal Orbis in their own image, either consciously as artists and craftsmen, or as the fecund, rotting matter out of which the mortals sprung forth, or in a variety of other analogic senses. analogical senses. The magical beings then, having died, became the Et Ada. The Et Ada are the things perceived and revered by the mortals as gods, spirits, or geniuses of Orbis. Through their deaths, these magical beings separated themselves in nature from the only magical beings of the unnatural realms, from the other magical beings of the unnatural realms. The Daedra were created at this time also, being spirits and gods more tuned to oblivion, or that realm closer to the void of Padome. This act is the dawn of the mythic, Merethic era. It has been perceived by the earliest mortals many different ways, either as a joyous second creation, or especially by the elves, as a painful fracturing from the divine. The originator of this event is always Lorcan. Lorcan, this creator, trickster, tester deity, is in every Tamrielic mythical religion tradition. His most popular name is the Aldmeri Lorcan, or Doom Drum. He convinced or contrived the original spirits to bring about the creation of the mortal plane, upsetting the status quo much like his father Padome had introduced instability into the universe in the beginning place. After the world is materialized, Lorcan is separated from his divine center, sometimes involuntarily, and wanders the creation of the Et Ada. Interpretations of these events differ widely by culture. Below are some of the better known. Yokutan, Saktal the World Skin. Saktal was first serpent, the snake who came before, and all the worlds to come rested in the glimmer of its scales. But it was so big, there was nothing but, and thus it was coiled around and around itself, and the worlds to come slid across each other, but none had room to breathe or even be. And so the worlds called to something to save them, to let them out. But of course there was nothing outside the first serpent, so aid had to come from inside it. This was Akal, the hungry stomach. Akal made itself known, and Saktak could only think about what it was, and it was the best hunger. So it ate. Soon there was enough room to live in the worlds, and things began. These things were new, and they often made mistakes, for it was hardly time to practice being things before. So most things ended quickly, or were not good, or gave up on themselves. Some things were about to start, but they were eaten up as Saktak got to that part of its body. This was a violent time. Pretty soon, Akal caused Saktak to bite its own heart, and that was the end. Hunger, though, refused to stop, even in death, and so the first serpent shed its skin to begin anew. As the old world died, Satakal began, and when things realized this pattern, so did they realize their part in it. They began to take names like Ruptka or Tuwaka, and they strode about looking for their kin. As Satakal ate itself over and over, the stronger spirits learned to bypass the cycle by moving at strange angles. They called this process the walkabout, a way of striding between the world's kings. Ruptka was so big, it was able to phase the stars in the sky so that the weaker spirits might find their way easily. This practice became so easy for the spirits that it became a place called the Far Shores, a time of waiting until the next skin. Ruptka was able to sire many children through the cycles, and so became known as the Tall Papa. He continued to place stars to map out the void for others, but after so many cycles, there were almost too many spirits to help out. He made himself a helper from the detritus of past skins, and this was Sep, or Second Serpent. Sep had much of the hungry stomach still left in him, multiple hungers from multiple skins. He was so hungry he could not think straight. Sometimes he would just eat the spirits he was supposed to help, but Tall Papa would always reach in and take them back out. Finally, tiring of helping Tall Papa, Sep went out and gathered the rest of the old skins and balled them up, tricking spirits to help him, promising them this is how you reach the new world, by making one out of the old. These spirits loved this way of living, as it was easier. No more jumping from place to place. Many spirits joined in, believing this was good thinking. Tall Papa just shook his head. Pretty soon the spirits on the skin ball started to die because they were very far from the real world of Satakal, and they found that it was too far to jump into the far shores now. The spirits that were left pleaded with Tall Papa to take them back, but Grim Ruptka would not, and he told the spirits that they must learn new ways to follow the stars to the far shores now. If they could not, then they must live on through their children, which was not the same as before. Sep, however, needed more punishment, and so Tall Papa squashed the snake with a big stick. The hunger fell out of Sep's dead mouth and was the only thing left of the second serpent. While the rest of the new world was allowed to strive back to godhood, Sep could only slink around, eat a dead skin, or swim about in the sky, a hungry void that jealously tried to eat the stars. Cyrodiilic Shazar's song. This was a new thing that Shazar described to the gods, becoming mothers and fathers, becoming responsible and making great sacrifices, with no guarantee of success. But Shazar spoke beautifully to them and moved them beyond mystery and tears. Thus the Aedra gave free birth to the world, the beasts and the beings, making these things from part of themselves. This free birth was very painful, and afterwards the Aedra were no longer young and strong and powerful as they had been from the days of the beginning. Some Aedra were disappointed and bitter with their loss, and angry with Shazar and with all creation, for they felt Shazar had lied and tricked them, these Aedra, these gods of the Aldmer, led by Oriel, who were disgusted by their enfeebled selves and by what they had created. Everything is spoiled for now and for all time, and the most we can do is teach the elven races to suffer nobly, with dignity, and chastise ourselves for our folly, and avenge ourselves upon Shazar and his allies. Thus are the gods of the elves dark and brooding, and thus are the elves ever dissatisfied with mortality, and always proud and stoic, despite the harshness of this cruel and indifferent world. Other Aedra looked upon creation and were well pleased. These Aedra, the gods of men and beast folk, led by Akatosh, praised and cherished their wards, the mortal races. We have suffered and are diminished for all time, but the mortal world we have made as glorious, filling our hearts and spirits with hope. Let us teach the mortal races to live well, to cherish beauty and honor, and to love one another as we love them. Thus are the gods of men tender and patient, and thus are men and beast folk great in heart for joy or suffering, and ambitious for greater wisdom and a better world. Now when the Daedra lords heard Shazar, they mocked him, and the other Aedra cut parts of ourselves off and lose them forever? That's stupid. You'll be sorry. We are far smarter than you, for we will create a new world out of ourselves. But we will not cut it off or let it mock us, but we will make this world within ourselves, forever ours, and under our complete control. So the Daedra lords created the Daedric realms, and all the ranks of lesser Daedra, great and small. And, for the most part, the Daedra lords were well pleased with this arrangement, for they always had worshippers and servants and playthings close to hand. But, at the same time, they sometimes looked with envy upon the mortal realms, for though mortals were foul and feeble and contemptible, their passions and ambitions were also far more surprising and entertaining than the antics of the lesser Daedra. Thus do the Daedra lords court and seduce certain amusing specimens of the mortal races, especially the passionate and powerful. It gives the Daedra lords special pleasure to steal away from Shazar and the Aedra, the greatest and most ambitious mortals. Not only are you fools to mutilate yourself, gloat the Daedra lords, but you cannot even keep the best pieces, which prefer the glory and power of the Daedra lords to the feeble vulgarity of the mush-minded Aedra. Altmeri. Altmeri, the heart of the world. Anu encompassed and encompasses all things, so that he might know himself, he created Anuiel, the soul, and the soul of all things. Anuiel, as all souls, was given to self-reflection, and for this he needed to differentiate between his forms, attributes, and intellects. Thus was born Sithis, who was the sum of all the limitations Anuiel would utilize to ponder himself. Anuiel, who was the soul of all things, therefore became many things, and this interplay was and is the Orbis. At first, the Orbis was turbulent and confusing, as Anuiel's ruminations went on without design. Aspects of the Orbis then asked for a schedule to follow, or procedures whereby they might enjoy themselves a little longer outside of perfect knowledge, so that he might know himself this way too. Anu created Oriel, the soul of his soul. Oriel bled through the Orbis as a new force called time. With time, various aspects of the Orbis began to understand their natures and limitations. They took names like Magnus or Mara or Zen. One of these, Lorcan, was more of a limit than a nature, so he could never last long anywhere. As he entered every aspect of Anuiel, Lorcan would plant an idea that was almost wholly based on limitation. He outlined a plan to create a soul for the Orbis, a place where the aspects of aspects might even be allowed to self-reflect, place where the aspects of aspects might be allowed to self-reflect. He gained many followers. Even Oriel, when told he would become the king of the new world, agreed to help Lorcan. So they created the Mundus, where their own aspects might live, and became the Et Ada. But this was a trick. As Lorcan knew, this world contained more limitations than not, and was therefore hardly a thing of Anu at all. Mundus was a house of Sithis. As their aspects began to die off, many of these Et Ada vanished completely. Some escaped, like Magnus, and that's why there are no limitations to magic. Others, like Ifre, transformed themselves into the Elinofe, the Earth Bones, so that the whole world might not die. Some had to marry and make children just to last. Each generation was weaker than the last, and soon there were Aldmer. Darkness caved in. Lorcan made armies out of the weakest souls and named them men, and they brought Sithis into every quarter. Oriel pleaded with Anu to take them back, but he had already filled their places with something else. But his soul was gentler, and granted Oriel his bow and shield so that he might save the Aldmer from the hordes of men. Some had already fallen, like the Chimer, who listened to tainted Et Ada, and others, like the Bosmer, who soiled Time's line by taking mannish wives. Oriel could not save Atmora, the Elderwood, and it was lost to men. They were chased south and east to Old Elinofe, and Lorcan was close behind. He shattered that land into many. Finally, Trinimac, Oriel's greatest knight, knocked Lorcan down in front of his army and reached in with more than hands to take his heart. He was undone. The men dragged Lorcan's body away and swore blood vengeance on the heirs of Oriel for all time. But when Trinimac and Oriel tried to destroy the heart of Lorcan, it laughed at them. It said, "This heart is the heart of the world, for one was made to satisfy the other." So Oriel fastened the thing to an arrow and let it fly long into the sea where no aspect of the new world may ever find it. Okay. On to fishing. Check my gear. Make sure I'm still wearing all the stuff I'm supposed to be wearing. I think there are 2 more pieces I can enchant. Let's see. But I think some of them are a little weird. Oh, I'm not going to do it while my inventory is this full. Never mind. Eeh. Wait, hold on. I might be able to filter it. Let me see. I think the last time I checked, the skirt and cloak can only be enchanted. Oh, no, they can be enchanted with a lot of things. Okay. Let's see if I've got any enchanting potions. Yep. Oh, yeah, wow. With potion buffs, it lasts for 177 seconds, which is much nicer than the 60 it usually is. Okay. What do I want? Power necromancy. Ooh. Okay. My magic resist is pretty good. I'll do some reflection. Better prices is kind of silly. Fortified power attacks. 35% more damage with power attacks. That sounds good. The soul tomato cracks me up. The soul tomato filled with greater soul, I do not understand. I think I looked it up once, but I've forgotten. But it's hilarious. Okay. Fortify conjuration cost. Wow. Conjuration cost 100% less, and my magic regeneration is increased by 200. That sounds good. I don't see why I wouldn't do that. Okay. I'm gonna use my soul tomato. Okay, now everything in my lineup should be double enchanted and have names that mostly match. Yeah, everything's named damage except for Wanderlust. Okay, we're good. Time to fish. So I'm working on my Morrow Oblivion list. It's pretty wild. It's a fairly wild ride so far. I've gotten an E and B, so it looks better than Oblivion ever looked. It's got weather, it's got, I've got housing and followers. I can carry 3 million pounds of stuff, or however they measure weight in Cyrodiil. So, it's pretty wild. I'm enjoying it. Wow, look at that. Just beautiful. Okay. Cave. What? I don't know what it is that as soon as I zone, things put me into combat. But wait a minute. Take in the view. Light falling of snow. Okay. Fisherman's Journal. 8th of last seed, 4201. Can you believe our luck? We've stumbled onto a gold mine, or more accurately, a dwarven metal mine. A staggering amount of scrap lies along the bottom of this frozen lake. Had we known how lucrative this trip would be, we would have brought more wagons, not buckets. Strange machines still stand just above the water. If we could only find what powers them. Riches surely lie in wait, and we can hang our fishing rods up for good. I'll bet we'll find it here. Amongst the rest of the scrap, we just need to keep doing what we know how to do best. Fishing. Sometimes I see a faint glow at the bottom, but when I cast my line in or try to swim to the bottom to retrieve it, it eludes me. 11th of last seed, 4201. No luck, we still haven't managed to fish up whatever it is that might power these machines. Jorad jokes we need a dwarven fishing rod to solve this decidedly dwarven mystery. Schematics are said to lie in a ruined tower at Offland, in the mountains up north. When people speak of me tomorrow, they won't say, "Here comes Faldrin the fisherman." They'll say, "Here comes Faldrin the treasure hunter." We'll leave for Offland at first light. Okay, so we're not good if they're not back and all rich. Yeah, I guess I never knew what that was. It's a fishing thing. Ah. Find the Dwarven fishing rod schematic in Offland Ruined. It's a little duck. So one of my only reservations with actually playing Morrow Oblivion is all the controls are so different that I end up just out of habit not getting it right. But I'm back to my... So it's not Morrowind. It's gonna have Morrowind's plot, but the mechanics are all Oblivion. Hey, hello guys. Really? We don't have to do this. No, we don't. No, we don't. Okay, I guess we do. Wow, how does that shit make me so dirty so fast? So it's a complete hybrid. Even the graphics have changed. It's got more Tamrielic trees. They're beautiful. It's like Tamrielic grass and trees, which is cool, but it doesn't look like Morrowind, and the gameplay is very different. So I may never have a true Morrowind experience, but the true Morrowind experience was really ugly and janky, so I didn't want to do it. Dwarven fishing rod schematic. Okay, bring it to Calsomo. What the hell am I? Have I already done this? No, I think I've already done this. Wait, maybe I might have actually. Really? What are these buttons for? There are buttons. Should I push them? Eh. Some new location? This is... Okay. Push buttons. Wow. On fire. That's it. Yeah, I can't have been through here if these... Huh. Yeah, I'm confused. But, okay. Hey, little buddy. So I'm still learning, and yikes. What am I? Alright, all that matters is whether or not I can fast travel from here, right? Or do I have to wait? Yay! So, Morrow Oblivion, it looks like the project... I'm still seeing mods updated, you know, this year, last year, but it looked like the project finished. They had a new release, so it's gone through iterations of releases. I'm still learning whether or not I use Oblivion mods or Morrowind mods or Morrow Oblivion mods, though Nexus does not list Morrow Oblivion as a game. but I should be able to go through and get to know the story and the. Although, again, it will not be the same. It has fast travel, and it has quest markers, which Morrowind did not have, which was partly what made it impossible for me to play. Went too far. But I'm enjoying it, so thumbs up, although the modding is kind of janky, and I'm crashing a lot. So we'll see how long I can sustain that. It isn't as stable.
What is it?
And it's like if you go for a mod, you can have the same problem that you can have with Skyrim. There might have been 7 different iterations of it in the past like 10 years, and you don't know which one to use. And the instructions are just like not there on installation. So it's not as well documented.
I have things to study. What is it?
I investigated a bronze water cave and discovered a dormant dwarven mechanism.
Yes?
Fishermen saw glowing objects that they activated but couldn't retrieve them.
No, that's probably not of any use.
They believed using a dwarven fishing rod might help. Here are the schematics.
Ah, yes. There it is. Thank you so much.
To wait 24 hours? In exchange for the schematics, could you build me a dwarven fishing rod?
Of course.
I'm gonna ask him about those artifacts you need me to find.
Yes? You already know all that I know.
Okay, I think this is... That's probably Legacy of Dragonborn.
Oh, goodbye.
Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna put up a rain shelter and sleep for 24 hours. I love this thing. See, we're in the middle of town. We can camp anywhere. It's amazing. Okay. So I don't know if I'm going to stream a Morrow Oblivion run because it is so buggy and I have no idea what I'm doing. But I'm having fun. I'm mostly doing what I do at the beginning of the game, just set things as easy as possible and give myself as many advantages as possible. So I spent about a day struggling with the original game, no money, unable to carry things, and then started finding lots of mods that will help me with that. I'm gonna take a bath while I'm at it. So yeah, the Morrow Oblivion you have to do, and even going back and doing a lot of searches for older content, use this mod, use that mod, they're just gone. It's difficult to find them on Nexus, so essentially I'm trying to go through other people's forum posts and hope that there's something there, but very often it will lead to a dead end. I don't think I'm going to be playing Daggerfall or Arena. Those are all back in like Bard's Tale territory. It's probably not something I'm doing.
Good to see Skyrim still has such fine people. You give an old man hope.
I returned. Is the dwarven fishing rod complete?
I've been holding on to this for you. Here, I hope you like it.
Consider the bounty paid in full. I'll try using this near Bronzewater Cave.
Oh, now do be careful. What? Oh, goodbye.
I don't know why these things are on the floor. They're just shit you'd trip over. Okay. Yeah, it looks like they're just ornamentation. But in reality, you would just trip over that all day. Or I would just trip over that all day, to be clear. Definitely never done this. So yeah, fishing is one of those things that loops so often on a mod list, on a quest log. I don't think I've done it straight through, but might be worth doing. When we run through, do like fishing, start fishing and start doing archaeology really early. At least the fossils. Oh, come on, dragon. Don't. You're just fishing, man. Yeah, I'm kind of bummed that the only way to get female dragons is to, like, mod things or use sex mods. You can have sex with female dragons. It's a thing. It's a disturbing thing. I keep thinking about maybe I should put some of that stuff back in, and then I remember that the sex lab mods like changes the all of the creature mods. I mean, all the pretty stuff that I've worked on would be reverted. So I'd have like crappy bears and crappy wolves, and then all the like wisp mothers have boobs and maybe not. It would require a serious graphics upgrade. Notice I'm not like I'm offended or anything, but I'm like, doesn't look good enough. Okay. Oh, of course. No, you don't gotta jump at my head. What is it with you guys? It's like you're programmed to respond a certain way or something. Oh, there's a chest. Oh, I am cold. Okay. Yeah, again. Probably something smart to do early in the game. Cool stuff. You can now create new equipment with dwarven smithing. Oh. Neat. That might be the end of fishing, folks. Because, yeah, there's no follow-up to go see, hey, sweetheart, you're so pretty. Okay, yeah, there's no follow-up to go see any of the quest givers. So I think that's it. Checking out my ice mods, they look good. Alright, okay, let's see. Bloodworm helm. Okay, I'm gonna review why I am locked on these. I think Bloodworm Helm actually required Bones of a Crow to be completed, which I did. Okay, so the Bloodworm Helm had previously appeared in Morrowind and Oblivion. Okay, Dreams of the Dead. I need to go to Gallows Hall. Oh, okay. So I can find it. No, Gallows Hall. It's near Mara's. Oh, wow. Okay, I haven't found lots of stuff. Okay, it is close to Gallows Rock. I think I've only done this content once. And if I remember, it's just the Necromancer home with some stuff. And I'm looking for a place right about there. So yeah, it's a big, skull, a creature skull helmet. And a player home, I believe. I don't do much necromancy, as I have stated. I hate having lots of minions about. Come on, sweetheart. Sorry. You always port with me, and then I'm like, where's my horse? Because you're behind me or something. I have to learn. Ooh, pretty water. Yep, goldfish here. Good place to just go and get goldfish without having to fish them up. Guys are the worst. Chill. Chill. Stop it. My horse alone has just been awesome. I'm just jealous. Oh no, they might get my muck. Nobody wants your muck. Search Nara. Hooded skeleton. Read Nara's journal. My old master was a collector of things, skeletons, staves, and priceless artifacts. The most prized of which were the helm and staff of many Marco himself, the king of worms. The old master was also a collector of apprentices, which in our trade are even more dangerous than the artifacts. He was aware of my ambition and where it would end. He knew I would steal his artifacts and kill anyone who stood in my way, himself included. So like any good necromancer would do, he made sure his trap would ensnare me even beyond the grave. The doors are blocked by some kind of invisible ward, but there must be a way to remove it. The master was nothing if not circumspect, and he would have left himself an out were he to fall victim to his own trap. In fact, I think he aimed to make a game of it. His final words to me were, "Start with the map." I've tried to make sense of the clue, and have made some progress. The flags seem to represent the torches. I just have to remove the right one. Dreamer's Greater Soul Gem. Nora's Plea. What? What? Why? Read Nara's plea. Get out of my hay. Uh-oh. I think it's probably open the door. Let me out. Oh, Nara. Okay, so shit's flying around. I'm gonna pick up the stuff that appears to be marked as quest. Nice, cute. Staff of Worms. Take it. Take it. Oh, I can't. Read Arch Necromancer's first clue. The mage travels Skyrim, snuffing out the souls of its people along the way. In each place, they collect a torch to represent the light of the dead. Their journey starts by traveling west to Morthal. From there, they cross the plain south to Falkreath and make use of the Alchemist's Table. Next, they travel northeast past the river and stop at the Nightgate Inn, where they cook themselves a meal before snuffing the light there. Finally, they head north to Fort Dunstad, where their journey ends. Only when they'd gathered the light of 4 souls did they receive the blessing from the King of Worms, trace their path, and let the way forward fall. Okay. Morthal, Falkreath, Nightgate, Fort Dunstad. Okay. Examine Morthal. Nothing happens. Okay. Keep flinging shit at my head. Unlock the safe. Oh, it does damage. Okay. Examine Morthal. I have no idea what that means. Okay. Hey, look. Salt pile. Okay. Quit hitting me. Ah! Shrine of Vermina. I know I saw this puzzle once, but I probably had a guide. Sure I can pick it up. It seems like when you try to pick it up, it just flings itself about. Nope. It won't let you. Okay. Okay, Morthal. I'm gonna look up a guide here because, okay. Oh, it's just a map. These are the torches. Okay, Morthal. Morthal. Stop. Falkreath. Light gate. And bantam stud. Okay. I don't know why they had that map there, but okay. Pick up the stuff. Pick up the stuff. Okay, find a use for the stuff. Well, that's fairly obvious, huh? Won't let me? Won't let me. Skeleton? Is there a skeleton about? Ooh, future hearts. Those can come in handy. Examine the raised skeleton. Hello. Arch Necromancer's key. Search the Necromancer's safe. Arch Necromancer's second clue. There's the Bloodworm helm. See, it kind of looks like a fish head. If you're an anglerfish, it's very bony. Okay. Arch Necromancer's second clue. A man dreams his empty coffers are full of gems. A necromancer dreams a similar dream, but his coffers are a different kind and hold different gems and treasures inside. But to see this dream and retrieve these gems, you must first pray to a prince for a door. Oh well, I know where that is. Hey, Vermina. Hey, buddy. Hey, Vermina, hey. Where were you? Okay, there you were. I don't think there's anything useful in the coffin, but... Okay. Door? Nope. Let's see. My active effects. I'm gonna have this skeleton forever. Huh. Okay. Okay, I prayed to Vermina. Door not working. Okay. Apparently I need to sleep. Okay. Sleep for an hour. Yeah, that would be hard to figure out. And we'll need to find 3 gems inside Necromancer's coffers. Oh, okay. So that's That's the coffins. The coffers. Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, I know I don't need them. I'm still gonna take them. I know, I have a problem. Fortunately, it really only affects me. What just happened? Okay. Do I activate the altar? This place. Oh, okay. Oh, note. Arch Necromancer's final instructions. In my dream, I am surrounded by my 4 apprentices, but they are no longer mortal. Dead but spirits, their souls taking the form of greater gems. To bring them to darkness, one must place them at the altar of the Revenant and turn greater to black. Only then we will be free. How'd you... Did I... Why is she wearing these clothes now? Okay, Nara. Alright, that's cool, I guess. Nice soul gem. Nice soul gem. Nice soul gem. Nice soul gem. Okay. Painted dreams of the dead. Well, that's very cool. This is a nice, immersive little place. It's sufficiently creepy. Okay, and Dreams of the Dead is gone. And it looks like I got the helm, so the quest just kind of dissolves. Alright. And this is a player home. If you want to be all creepy and shit, you can hang out here. So, lots of stuff, lots of space. You can sleep in a coffin. It is, unfortunately, out of the way. But a great spot for... Oh, wow. Nice pile of bones. Okay, dude's been busy. Yeah. Ugh. Alrighty. Well, so that happened. Everybody's dead. Everything. Okay. And I don't think there are any restrictions on this. I think you can just come here at the beginning of the game. I'm pretty sure I did wear that helmet for a little while, because it was pretty cool. Okay, Warlock's Ring. Let me look that one up. Drift Shade Refuge. Look it up on the map. Okay. Okay, so we got Dawn Star, and then Night Walker's always really good. Where is Dawn Star? It should be here-ish, right? Yeah, okay, there's a fishing marker already. Okay, Drift Shade Refuge is cleared, but apparently I didn't loot something, so. Alright, so there is a damaged strong box somewhere in here. I don't know how big this place is. Oh, pretty big.
We always have to fight. What was that?
Okay, so we're looking for an anvil and a box.
What was that?
Come on!
Boy, I'm missing a lot, sorry. Don't mean to prolong your death. But you running isn't really helping. Okay, whatever. I'll get back to you. Ooh, you got some friends. How did I clear this place? Does it just completely reset? I still don't know how to Skyrim. was unhappy. I was unhappy because people are coming. He's not allowed to be out and say hi. He's gonna bitch for a little while. Like a bow. He's such a bow.
Damn!
Did we come through here, like, on... I don't even remember being here.
What was that?
It's a large place, people. Large place I do not remember in the least. It's a little disturbing. Yeah, it's Silverhand. I was probably here with the companions.
I cannot rest you.
A war between the Silverhand and the bandits? Okay. Whatever.
Prepare to die! No more! I eat! Do it! You guilty weak!
Okay, that's the chief. This should be the boss room. These guys are making it really easy. Okay, there it should be, the damaged strongbox. Warlock's Ring. Gain 5% movement speed, absorb 15% of magicka from hostile spells. Absorb 15% of magicka from hostile spells. I don't know if that means 30% or if that's just a bug. But cool, we got it. A nice ring. But I think Wanderlust is 30%. Hey, we got a card. We're gonna check to see. Wow, I didn't. Oh, I just learned just today. You could do that. I've never hit the F key while playing this game. That's crazy. Okay, I was today years old when I learned you didn't have to mouse scroll, you could just do this. Alright, hope I don't forget it. That's the F key. Suppose I could... Wow. I'm too good of a typist to ever have made that mistake, huh? Haha! Okay, I'm happy about that. I'm gonna do something. Now I don't remember. Okay, Warlock's Ring is finished. Alrighty. No, I don't want to go. I didn't want to go to the cellar. I went to the cellar. Okay. I'm just really excited about that. I'm gonna do that for a little while. Look, in, out, out, in. Hello, boss door. Thanks for watching. Wishing you found family, creative hobbies, a hot bath after a long day, and food you love as much as Saleya loves apple pies.